It's Aussie Tech Heads, episode 536 on the 1st of June 2017. Thanks for joining us. I'm Glenn Goodman, and we are joined this week by Jason Oakley and Eric Franco, the two of the favourites. How you boys going?
The only favourites.
Yay!
I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to eat my chocolate.
Oh.
We are the
Look at
champions.
you. Oh, Eric, I did the right thing. I took you off the camera as you were gutsing into that.
Is that chocolate? Is that a confefe chocolate?
A confefe.
Yep.
Confefe.
Confefe chocolate.
Did you see Billy West is doing his Brannigan impressions whenever Trump does something or other? So he's like, despite the negative press, the confefe.
Yeah, that was pretty
It's
funny.
Cov, C-O-V, Cobb Fefe.
Confefe.
Confefe. And how good was the Blues win, on Wednesday night?
They were sporting hard, weren't they?
I heard it was good. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I thought you were
I
into the
was
State
doing
of
my
Origin.
radio show.
Yeah, just bloody
Just over it.
over it. Yeah.
Oh, it was
Overall
good.
drama.
It was good. It was good. It's New
Oh, they
South.
got a thrashing. Hate Queensland.
Yeah. And Jace, what were you saying? You had your first radio gig last night.
Yeah, 4 hours of retro regeneration music.
Oh, and what was one of the greatest songs that was out of the Jason Oakley hour?
Oh, you put me on the spot, don't you?
Billy, don't
That's
be
what
a
I
hero.
love. That's what I do. Putting on the Ritz, something like that.
That sounds like a good one.
Haven't heard that one for a while, I bet. Hey?
Super Freak.
Oh, super freaky.
Bit of,
Good job.
a bit of Patrick Hernandez, Born to be Alive.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Get a job. Poetry in Motion.
Oh,
Wild
yeah.
Thing. And
Bit of
Super
Bananarama.
Yeah, nice,
Freak.
nice.
Not yet. No, I had Fergal
yet?
Sharkey.
Oh, Fergal.
Tuesday, Talking Heads, Traveling Wilburys. Phil Collins, Stranglers, Lou Grant.
You know what they call the
Harold
traveling?
Falkmayer.
You know what they call the traveling Wilburys? Because they're always stoned and they're on the run from the law.
Ah,
Is that
makes sense.
right?
No.
Willie Nelson, remember Willie Nelson, the big drug bust?
But he wasn't part of the Wilburys, was he?
No.
Yes, he was.
No.
Traveling Wilburys, I'm sure he was.
Not Willie.
No.
Oh, Willie, you sure? All
Yeah.
right, well, you must be right then. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, that was Traveling Wilburys was Roy Orbison, Tom
Bob
Petty,
Dylan,
Bob Dylan.
George Harrison.
Yep, and one other, wasn't there? Guy with fuzzy hair.
Jeff Lynne.
Yes.
I don't know, something like
It narrows it down a bit right there, you know.
who was the Willie Nelson in with?
Tom Petty.
that. Oh, Willie Nelson was, with some...
He was with another sort of group.
Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
George Harrison, Jeff Lynne, Roy Orbison, and Tom Petty.
Yes. Well, while you're there, look up the Willie Nelson one.
Can't remember the name of
What
it.
group he was in?
Yeah, Nelson. That's a Willie Nelson group. But yeah, I can't believe he's still kicking. The Highwaymen, that's them.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was he with that? Who was that with? Chris Christopherson, wasn't it? Was that him?
That was with...
Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson.
There you go.
Well, there
Druggies.
Ooh.
But Willie's still going. But anyway, so let's put the Aussie tech music history to bed, and let's look at something else. What else are we doing tonight? We will be doing. Oh, where's the? Geez, it's all unorganised this week. Now, yes, catch us at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads, and wherever else good podcasts are made. You can go to the aussietechheads.com.au/podcast for the website, and follow us on Twitter at Aussie Tech Heads, at Glenn Goodman, at Aussie Tech News, at Warlock, or at Eric Franco with a K. All right.
Okay.
And
Franco with
Franko.
no ERIK FRANCO.
There we go.
As in the dictator.
Gee, I looked up it. What did I look up? I searched Eric Franco and I got a funny result. I can't remember now. I have to do it again in a second. Now, I'll do it right now. Now, let me have a look. Eric, if I type in Google Eric Franco. Oh, I remember now. Yep. Okay. I remember what it was. Eric Franco.
Greg Popovich.
It was a definite. It was like a rhyming slang or rhyming non-slang for some other thing. But anyway, don't worry about it. Look, now this week, Microsoft Outlook users. What's going on with Microsoft? Were you offline, Eric, this week with Office
I
365?
was, actually.
Yep.
I was.
So
For a
Microsoft,
little while. But not for long.
a day, half a day.
No, an hour.
Oh, okay, you're on the lucky ones. So apparently, as you can see if you're on the video, there's a video there of the heat map of the outages at that particular point in time, and it looks like around Perth, and pretty much the whole of Eastern Australia, looks like it's been smashed with the outage. So I was first alerted to this by my next door neighbour, and the world went into a tailspin. At 9 a.m., 9 a.m., Microsoft advised that it was investigating the issue. Microsoft identified a configuration issue and was working on fixing it. By 3 p.m., the issue was rectified for most clients and was being monitored. The universities, there's some university that was involved in this story. The university's email services were back at 4. Australia and Japan appear to have been hit the hardest, with Australian outages picking up the disruption at approximately 11, blah, blah, blah. According to Microsoft, the problem was affecting users trying to connect to Outlook.com via the Mozilla Firefox browser. That old chestnut. So I suppose you wouldn't have... What were you doing? Were you Firefox, Eric, or how were you doing it?
Chrome.
All right, so you were still out, so that Firefox was a bit of a BS, fake news.
I tend not to use Firefox anymore. It's a bit of a pig.
Yeah, true. It is.
Well, Chrome is driving me crazy now too, so I might
it's getting
and try it.
heavy.
Yes, I was thinking about going back to Firefox from Chrome because it was annoying me as well. And then I was just installing Windows 10 on a couple of the machines today, and I'm.
If you use Edge.
You used Edge, didn't you?
Yes,
Admit it.
I did use Edge, and there's a
You
bit.
suck.
Isn't that rubbish? And you put a search, you're just so used to it going to Google when you search.
Yeah.
You type something in, it goes to Bing, for God's sake.
Yeah, I think
Let's all just go with Opera and be done with it.
Yeah, it's about. Oh no, I'm going to start giving something else a go. But no, I'm still on.
I might have to actually. I might have to go to Opera.
I'm still on. I'm still on Chrome, so that's all right. But yeah, so Office 365 is big problems there. So it's. I wonder, do they give you any compensation, Eric? In previous experience, do you think any previous experience in compensation or anything, or days outages? Yeah, nothing. Yeah, so all right, that's no good. But that's what's happened if you had a Microsoft 365 outage. That's what happened. Something went wrong. Okay, obviously.
No one
Can't
cares.
trust the cloud.
No, you can't. You can't. All right. What else, Jace? What did you read this week that thought was pretty interesting?
Well, Amazon is refunding up to 70 million in-app purchases made by kids.
Oh.
70 million bucks worth, that is. The Federal Trade Commission announced that refunds are now available for parents whose children made in-app purchases without their knowledge. Amazon dropped its appeal of last year's ruling by a federal judge who sided with the FTC in the agency's lawsuit. Again, Amazon, according to TechCrunch report, the FTC's original complaint said that Amazon should be liable for millions of dollars it charged customers because of the way its app store software was designed. That is, it allowed kids to spend unlimited amounts of money in games and other apps without requiring parental consent. According to the FTC, more than $70 million in charges may be eligible for refunds on in-app purchases made between November 2011 and May 2016. In 2014, Apple and Google refunded customers whose children made purchases on their mobile app stores. The companies were forced to be more explicit about in-app purchases. Both firms no longer call apps free when they are free to download but have upgrades you can buy. Amazon sent eligible customers an email to receive a fund.
I was going to say that wouldn't you have thought they would have learnt from the Apple experience? You know, like
It's pretty widely reported.
Yes, and no doubt that the App Store was probably modelled after the Apple's App Store, as it was the first in the market. But I just would have thought, wouldn't you just have a look at Apple? They're going through a bit of strife over there because of their in-app purchases and the kids. And
let's do the same thing.
Yeah, we want to lose
money.
Could
go wrong?
Yeah, what could
Let's
go?
see, the old smoke and mirrors. Look over there. Look over there. We're going to do it over here.
Yeah, probably. But there you go. They got how much? 25 million, up to 70 million actually. 70 million in app purchases. Well, yeah, bad luck to them. But anyway, as long as the kids get it good. Because I remember that the Apple has, instead of free, it's now Get. And I'm not sure. What's on the Play Store? Is it Get as well or something similar?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. The ATO. Remember the ATO has a few outages?
Just a couple?
Yeah, just a couple. And it was a SAN failure that caused these outages. Well, the ATO's 3-par storage area network problem started last December when an unexpected 3-day outage took over its online services. Or didn't take them over, took them down. A second 5-day outage in February followed, as you would remember, because you would have heard it right here. And it was later forced to take its online tax services down for several weekends after that, in April and May, as it swapped out the old SAN and, installed some new equipment. Now, the ATO commissioner, this dude called Chris Jordan, later said HPE, who was the company responsible for the SAN, had never seen a failure of this type across any of the 67,000 organisations worldwide using the same equipment. So what went wrong at the ATO? Now, 12 of 800 disk drives failed. That impacted the ATO systems. The ATO commissioner also revealed that the agency had reached a commercial settlement. Yeah, blah, blah. So we're never going to know how much it is. And the details are confidential. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, now the agency's apparently got a higher grade equipment. It says here, because this is quite interesting. The details are confidential, he said, but the deal recoups key costs incurred by the ATO and gives the agency new and higher grade equipment to equip it with a world-class storage network. That was the problem.
Couldn't they have had that in the first
That's
place?
right. Exactly. That was the problem. They didn't have the high-class storage network in the first place.
That's why the cheap one will spread the rest of the money between us.
Those USB drives can be so temperamental.
Yeah, let's format the Swahili ATO's office drives and give them.
Oh, yeah. Pass us the zip drive, will you?
Yes. They weren't disk drives, Mr. ATO. They were zip and floppies.
I love my zip drive.
Yeah,
great.
I've still
You might
got
need
one.
the Jazz though for more storage.
Yeah, what?
Pass us the floppy then.
Yeah, zips were what 100 meg. What were Jazzies?
Jazz was, I think, 1.5 gig, 1.2 gigs or something.
Yeah, like right. I've got a external zip drive just over there.
I had a one that went in the parallel port.
Hired one of those. Yes. Yeah.
I was working at a computer shop in Sydney, and this guy bought it, and then he brought it back because his antivirus software got a false positive and told him that the installation floppy disk had a virus on it. So he brought it back, and the boss is like, "Well, I can't resell this. The package has been ripped and stuff. Does anybody want it?" I said, "I'll have it." So I got a discount and got a zip drive. I was happy.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
I love that thing. That was great.
Have you still got any zip discs?
No. Eventually, it got the click of death, and wasn't much use.
I'll just grab a picture up and show the guys on the video. See if this is what the zip discs used to look like. There's a couple of drives there. And yeah, I've still got I think I've got about 8 somewhere around the place. 8 of those little zip discs and the USB zip drive. I think it was USB. Or was that a USB floppy drive? I can't remember now what I got. It's got something.
Mostly the zips were parallel port or SCSI.
SCSI. Yeah, I think I had the SCSI one like you.
Does anyone remember SCSI back then?
Yeah. That was supposed to be the ant's pants.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I have. Yes, no good. All right. Well, what else, Jace? What's another one of your stories?
Well, in what appears to be a first, a court in Switzerland has fined a man the equivalent of over $4,000 for clicking the like button on what a judge said were defamatory Facebook comments.
Oh.
From a report, the court in Zurich found the man indirectly endorsed and further distributed the comments by using the ubiquitous Facebook like button. The man, who was not named in the court statement, liked several posts written by a third party that accused an animal rights activist of anti-Semitism, racism, and fascism. In court, the man was not able to prove that the claims were accurate or could reasonably be held to be true. The defendant clearly endorsed the unseemly comment and made it his own, a statement from the court said. The court fined the man a total of 4,000 Swiss francs, is about $4,100 US. He has the right to appeal his sentence.
It's a bit
I'd
ridiculous.
say
isn't it?
he would want to do that, wouldn't he?
Isn't, if someone writes something that you don't like, right? That's freedom of speech. You can write what
Yep.
you want.
Hmm.
If your response to that is clicking a like button, isn't that
I
form of
agree with
freedom
what
of
you
speech?
said. Yeah.
Isn't that a form of freedom of speech? I like what he said, or I don't like what he said. I'm
So-
just responding.
So
Well, that's how you vote for people, isn't it? I like what that politician said, so I voted for him. I like what that one. Well, that politician just went to jail for fraud. So all you people who liked his stuff and voted for him,
But
you're
I
all
don't
liable.
I don't understand that. That's a freedom of speech issue.
Yep.
But what I'd like to know is this article. I'm just rereading it here again. I can't see. It says what happened to the actual poster. Like the
Yeah, did he get in trouble, or
Yeah,
is it just the guy who liked his thing?
That's right. Or maybe the original poster was from outside the Swiss jurisdiction. Is that what happened? Like, why wouldn't the guy get in trouble? The original poster, but yeah, you're right. That is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But sometimes
What's the world coming to?
sometimes you like stuff, to just acknowledge that you've seen it.
He should have picked the angry emoticon instead of the happy like one.
Oh, yeah, but he gets sued for that too.
Yeah.
Can't win.
So what was
Whatever you do.
what was the post about? It was animal something.
An animal activist.
Yeah,
saying
racism
bad
and
things
fashion.
about him.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy stuff, isn't it? But anyway, that's what happens. You got to be so careful these days, haven't you? Especially on the old on Facebook. Now, oh look, I want to do this one here. I'll put it in the middle of the show because it's just I don't want to end on it. There's this quite disturbing story, and it's about IS Terror Guide encourages luring victims via Gumtree and eBay. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is quite disturbing.
It is disturbing.
Yeah, I'm just going to mention it, just give everyone a heads up. But the article encourages terrorists to advertise products on second-hand sites such as Gumtree, eBay, and Craigslist to lure victims and obviously then do away with them. Now, advises readers to specify that the product must be picked up in person and paid for in cash to ensure that the victim enters the property. Upon the target's arrival, one can then proceed to initiate the attack. Alternatively, the magazine says fighters can take out fake advertisements for jobs as a means to, do whatever. And also it just goes on and on. I'm sort of leaving a lot of it
Have
out.
you advertised these things on eBay?
No, well, you advertise, I've got a phone to sell. And then, the person comes around to buy the phone. You go, I got no phone.
But how would you like to get into some naughty stuff?
Yeah.
No, not really. I was here for the phone, dude.
That's right.
I'll promise I won't tell any law enforcement about your intentions. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. And also, single room apartments and apartments. People saying, get the prospect to come along. But look, I just wanted to just mention that in passing because it's just crazy. Keep that in mind. If you just keep it in mind. All right. Where are we going to go to? Geez, we're getting through them. We're going to have to start talking. We're going to have to start talking about something else in a minute. Jace, bring us up another one, and we'll see if we can bang this one out.
Well, some interesting things to note anyway, not much of a story really, but Mary Meeker's 2017 Internet Trends Report. Kleiner and Perkins, Caulfield and Byers partner Mary Meeker delivered her annual rapid-fire Internet Trends Report at CodeFront Conference. Here's the summary. Global smartphone growth is slowing. Smartphone shipments grew 3% over last year, year-over-year last year versus 10% the year before. Voice is beginning to replace typing in online queries. 20% of mobile queries were made via voice in 2016, while accuracy is now about 95%. In 10 years, Netflix went from 0 to more than 30% of home entertainment revenue in the US. This is happening while TV viewership continues to decline. Entrepreneurs are often fans of gaming, Meeker said, quoting Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, and Mark Zuckerberg. Global interacting gaming is becoming mainstream with 2.6 billion gamers in 2017 versus 100 million in 1995.
Oh, wow.
China remains a fascinating market with huge growth in mobile services and payments and services like on-demand bike sharing. While internet growth is slowing globally, that's not the case in India, the fastest growing large economy. The number of internet users in India grew by more than 28% in 2016.
Can I just ask, is bike sharing what it sounds like, or is it something else?
It's not bike sharing as in puberty blues.
Right. But it's that movie
Push
might be
bikes.
push bikes. That's
Yeah,
what it
you
is. It's
put
just
your money into the machine and ride it to another place and then lock it up in their other one.
okay, and they just call it on demand bike sharing. Just
Yeah,
I think the
just grab them when you want and then ride from one place to the other and lock it up in the new place.
okay, sweet. Sorry, Jace, keep going.
Yep. In the US in 2016, 60% of most highly valued tech companies were founded by first or second generation Americans and are responsible for 1.5 million employees. These companies include tech titans Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, and Facebook.
Hmm.
And Facebook's the only one that doesn't start with A. They better get onto that. Even Google's got Alphabet now.
They just want to
Apple,
come.
Alphabet, Amazon, and Facebook.
They just want to be at the front of the telephone
Drop
directory.
the F, call it Ace Book, and it sounds really cool then, right?
Ace. Oh, guess who
Yeah,
I saw?
get on Ace Book.
Guess who I
That'll
saw
be-
pop up on the BBC internet page this week?
Who's that?
Johnny Ives. He's still
Ah.
alive.
Still alive.
going.
Yeah.
Still designing pot plants.
No, I don't think
Christmas
so.
trees.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, he did move on to something else, but no, he just popped up. He was talking about how he wanted immigration for tech companies and all this sort of stuff. So I think people are getting a bit confused here. Like, I don't think anyone's talking about stopping immigration full stop. I think it's still.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right, we're just going to make sure that you're coming in to fix the computers and not plant something somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think
Like a tree.
the normal rollout of the immigration is still going to happen. I don't think there's any problems there, but it just seems everyone's just going a bit.
Just countries that presidents don't like can't have immigration.
Yeah, and you got
And
one
the
more.
last one,
Yeah.
healthcare. Wearables are gaining adoption with about 25% of Americans owning one, up 12% from 2016. You guys got smartwatches?
I haven't got
No.
a smartwatch. I've got the Fitbit. Is that a wearable?
Oh yeah, I got the Surge.
I know you've been surging along too, haven't you? The last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I've been getting all your little challenges. I don't think I've been
Try
winning.
and keep up.
Oh,
But yeah,
trying to.
going with the first one, global smartphone growth is slowing. I mean, it's pretty much peaked, hasn't it? There's not a lot exciting. I got the new Samsung Galaxy S8 just because my LG G3 was 3 years old or more,
Mm.
and I needed a new phone, and I could get this on contract and work pays for it. But there's nothing particularly exciting or innovative in any kind of electronical thing. TVs, cars,
There's
computers.
not much going on, is there?
Everything's pretty
Everything's a
stagnant,
bit,
don't you think?
yeah, flat.
Is there
There's
anything
no-
you're excited about?
no-
Would go, man,
no.
if I had 10 grand, I would just go buy that, or even 1 grand.
Exactly. Yeah, when's the
There's
last time you
nothing-
said that? If
Yeah.
I had a spare 2 grand, I'd go and buy that computer. And you look at it and you no, I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah, no, nothing's really catching my eye either. Like, I'll tell you what happened.
I don't think I'd be very excited about the rumored Siri assistant thing that's like Amazon Echo and Google Home coming out.
It looks
What's
good.
next? Cortana in a car.
Yeah. Or
Ford Cortana.
or Cortana in a can.
It's a good one.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
The new
But
Ford
none of these, I'm
Cortana.
not particularly excited about the future of electronics or any gadgets or anything.
no, I
No.
can't see what would make my life easier in the immediate future. Maybe if they brought out some sort of hologram.
Oh, look,
thing.
we've discussed this, Glenn, and the only thing I would be impressed with now is this: a phone that's in between the size of between an iPhone 6 and an iPhone 6S, so it's somewhere in the middle.
Right.
So I think the iPhone 6S is a bit big.
Yep.
So in between size, waterproof.
Hmm.
You're not going
Sure.
to care about AR, which is rumored in iOS 8.
Yeah, it couldn't give a
There's
rat.
going to be a small percentage of people interested in that.
A very small percentage, exactly. They're the
Yeah.
ones lining up. A chargeable mat, so drop it on a mat and charge it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting one of them for my car. It's coming over from the US. It's got a phone holder and it's got a Qi charger in it. You just pop it in there without plugging anything in. It charges from
what
the
you want.
car cigarette lighter.
And
Ooh.
holograms.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like,
That's the only phone that would impress me. I could have it in the bath,
yeah.
floating,
Yep.
not getting wet while I was talking to the hologram
That'd be
or
all
in
right.
the pool.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If you're not coming up with that, I'm not buying your rubbish.
So you've still
Yeah,
got
Eric likes talking to holograms in the bath.
a. Yes, we know. Now,
Then you go to that's when you go to the dark side.
now,
Is her name Candy?
Yes.
have you still got your? What do you got, Eric? Your iPhone 6. You still got that?
Yes, 6.
Yeah, and no
No,
interest.
6 plus.
Haven't got any interest in the 7.
No, I skipped the 7 completely.
Or the 8?
The 8 I'm going to skip because it's just going to be rubbish.
Why? Yeah.
And if this falls apart, I drop it. I'll buy a 6S.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
touch.
You
Not
save
touching
money
the
doing
7.
that too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I tell you a couple of weeks ago I dropped my phone and cracked the glass?
Right.
It landed like face down like that. And I
Don't
picked
you
it up.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, and I picked it up and went, oh, that's no good. I saw a couple of cracks. I thought, oh, it's just the cover on it. And then I started picking like glass out of it, off the top corner here. And,
Just get forward.
yeah, and anyway, the other day I kept the cover on and I saw some dirt under the cover, under the 2 dots at the top of the iPhone. I don't know what those 2 dots are. I think it's some light sensor or something. And I thought,
Yeah, proximity and light sensors.
oh yeah. So I thought I'll just peel the screen cover back.
Which phone have you got?
6S.
6S. Oh, this is underneath, is it? Inside the phone.
Right at the top.
Underneath the glass.
See the
yeah.
2
Oh yeah. Those 2 little dots. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some dirt under them. And so I thought, because I've got this problem of when I'm talking on it, it lights up and my ear keeps pushing the mute button. And
Oh, right.
and I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
that's because the proximity
it's supposed to go
sensor is
dark.
broken.
Yeah. It's supposed to
Oh.
go dark and put it to your face.
yeah, so that might have broke when I dropped it, you reckon, Jace?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
pretty
proximity sensor is there to disable the touch interface when
When
it's
it's on
near
your
your
face.
face, and then when you take it away again, you can tell if you had something on the screen, you put your finger over it, it should darken the screen or blank the screen if it's not doing that. Or when
No.
you put it up to your face, then the proximity sensor is broken.
That's not a setting, as far as you know.
No, that's hardware.
No, well, anyway, I thought I had good news, but anyway, because half my good news was that when I scraped the dirt away, and then I kept going. And I thought, I'm seeing these cracks. I'm going, if I take this cover off, it's all the screen's going to come with it and everything. But anyway, I thought, bugger it. So I took the cover off, and it was only the cover that was cracked. So how good was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, because it's one of those thick, it must be 2 mil thick, like glass covers. I don't know if you've ever seen.
I've never seen that. So it was just
Right.
so only your cover was cracked.
Yeah, because it's like a little 2 mil, must be like toughened plastic, toughened glass sort of
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
what a
Yeah.
bargain.
a screen cover. I don't know if I can. Can you see how thick that is? See that?
Yeah, thin tempered glass.
Yeah. So that was the
Yeah.
thing that cracked. Oh, how good is that? But now you
So
tell
you
me.
get another one of them.
But you've got to now use your headphones
But now I've got
to
a
make calls.
proximity problem.
Yeah.
So that's just no good. I'm just trying to see if I can.
Just use your earphones.
Oh,
Use
get an
your
iPhone 8, mate. Get on a plan with Telstra, about $400 a month. I reckon.
Or the
Yeah.
AirPod.
Yeah, I'm never going back on a plan again. I'm just going to try and see if I can push that. Now it doesn't go
I'll
dark.
get an iPhone 6. I'm on a plan now with Telstra, and it's a lot better than
You're on a plan.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, like the $50 with the 8 gigs.
Is that a plan? I thought that was-
99 bucks.
No,
for
not
12
with a
months.
phone, not a phone plan, just not a handset plan.
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
right. So it's out of contract. That's already paid for.
What were you saying, Jace?
99 bucks a month for 12 gigs.
Yeah. Well, I'm on 90.
Telstra.
I'm on 107 for 8.
I got
gigs or
their
something.
easy upgrade plan, so in 12 months I can swap it out for whatever is the cool funky phone
Hmm.
without any charge to swap over to the new phone and just trade in the old one, which I keep in good nick.
Well,
I didn't know you were on a
First thing-
plan, Glenn. What are you?
Yeah, till September.
I thought. Oh right.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
Oh, so that's right. You upgraded your phone. That's
Yeah,
right.
but I'm keen to look at those Audi prepaids. Like, was it $40 or something for 18 gig or something? It was crazy. Or
Yeah,
no,
they
we-
should be
as long
on the
as-
Telstra network.
As long as
Yeah.
they're not on the Telstra 3G network.
no, I think they're 4G.
No, they've been upgraded to 4G now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So
Yeah,
that'd be
they weren't giving it to them for ages, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, you can have 4G, whatever."
that'd be just as good as the 4G on Kogan be good as 4G on Telstra.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Way as you go. Way as you go. Here we go.
Here's another story that's gonna get your blood boiling. ACCC lets Telstra, TPG, and other telcos pass high-speed broadband tax to customers. Now, I think we brought this up the other week, and
That's all well and good if you're actually getting a high speed.
yeah, but I think anything they could go broadband, anything over a meg down, I think is high speed. So the ACCC has ruled that Telstra, TPG,
Anything over 56K.
is broadband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Telstra, TPG, and a host of smaller network operators will be allowed to pass this $7.10 minimum monthly broadband tax for high-speed fixed-line providers on. So early this month, the government revealed its intentions to introduce this legislation. The $7.10 represents a third of the profits some companies make off each customer, according to some reports. Now, look, I just don't agree with this tax. Why are we getting another tax? I thought
Was this in the budget? Was it?
no, I think it's been hanging around for a little while.
Because they've screwed up the rollout, and by now they should be making a ton of money from NBN to be able to fund the next phases of the rollout. But because of the dilly-dally and switching technologies and switching companies and switching things left, right, and centre, suddenly they're like, all the money is gone, so now we need more money, and who's got it?
So it's basically a tax grab.
Yes, it's
And I guarantee you it will not end up in the NBN bank account.
no. Well, it's supposedly so. Yes, so as Jay just said, to fund the next stage and the fixed wireless and all this sort of stuff. But the problem is, as we all know, they start out in the rural areas, which fair enough, good in theory, because they've suffered for ages with broadband and no one's paid any attention to them. But they've started out there where it might go down through the whole town and 5 people take it up. Because there's only 5 people in
And
that
there's
town.
only 10 people in that
That's
whole town. 5 took it up.
That's right. And so
And they're all paying for 1 meg.
they
don't want fast.
So and instead of starting in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, blah blah blah, instead of starting there where there's like a decent population that they could make some money, they decided to go out into back of Burke or somewhere. So that's
The thing is, right? They've got it obviously backwards. The tail's wagging the dog here, because if you rolled it out in the major metropolitan cities as quickly as possible in the first instance, the money you made from that would have funded the rural rollout.
yes,
Right.
yeah,
Would have funded the providing. But the problem is, governments can't do anything; they're hopeless. You would need a lot of discipline to go right. Rural rollout. We're doing this. We're making all this money. We're going to set every week. Or every month. We're going to set aside a certain amount, and we can start rolling out the rural. But knowing government, they just go look at all this money and go, yeah, let's spend it on junkets. Yeah. So that's the problem. But that's how a private consortium would have done it.
I think
You make what you're doing now pays for your next stage.
Yeah.
yes, but I think why they did it this way is because the Bush
It's
was
political.
well, I think because the Bush was left behind, like massively in relation to getting ADSL even to places and all this. They said, okay, look, you guys left behind. If we don't do them first, then there may be a possibility, future years, future governments, whatever, that they're not going to get done. They'll just be left behind.
Yeah, that bit I agree with. There was quite a bit of fear there in respect of, I don't want to get them. No one wants to forget the rural again and again and again. You're right. That's a risk because governments generally make promises and they never keep them. So,
Well, instead of going fully rural or fully metro, why not split it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least you get to pay for some of the rural with some of the metro.
Yes. Yeah.
And the people in the metro, there's going to be a lot more nerds and stuff in Sydney because they all work at Google and.
That's right. They're all working from
They
home
will
and
get 140 minimum.
Yeah, and plus, if they maybe has the rural, not taken this opportunity and ran with it, like from the point of view that if that had been done in the metropolitan areas, well, there would have been more business opportunities and more new creative businesses might have popped up because
productivity would have been a lot better. Obviously,
This is why we don't work in politics because we're too smart.
that's right.
must
It's
be.
common sense. Then there's not much common sense in politics.
I think the problem is with the whole, hey, you said government can't do nothing and all this sort of stuff. I think the real reason is because there's too many interest groups with too much say. I think sometimes you just need someone, a strong leader. I don't know, maybe from the ilk of Keating or something. He just comes in and just goes bang, bang, bang. This is what I believe. This is what we're doing. We're going to go from A to B this way.
No, conviction is what the word you're looking for.
Conviction. And then,
and it doesn't matter who you voted for and got in, it would have been the same mess regardless.
That's the problem. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of faith in the Liberal Party to do a better job. But I think in 50% of the instances, I think they've probably done a worse job.
Yeah, it's hasn't been the best, has it? Like with all the different technologies and Jace was saying.
Well, they've invented another one. They've got fibre to the curb now. So,
yeah, I know. There's about 5 of them. I think there's fibre to the node. We were talking about this the other week. To the node,
home, curb,
basement,
and the satellite, obviously, and then there's the hybrid
fixed wireless.
That's just getting out of control.
Hopeless.
So let me see if I can alleviate some of that tax burden with my story.
Okay, please.
Some good news, maybe. NBN's new pricing model comes into effect to provide a discount rate for big users.
Oh.
Starting today, the way many of us are charged for our internet usage will effectively change. The company carrying out the task of building a wholesale broadband network to service every Australian has enacted a new pricing structure designed to provide discounts for telcos, i.e. on-sellers who buy large amounts of bandwidth for their customers. The altered pricing arrangement is designed to produce greater certainty and flexibility for retail service providers such as Telstra, Optus and TPG who sell home broadband plans to the end consumer. On top of connection fees, NBN Co charges retailers for the maximum amount of total bandwidth they want available to their customers accessing the network, known as the connectivity virtual circuit charge. Under the new model, telcos will pay reduced prices for bandwidth on the NBN if they increase the average amount of data capacity in their customer base. NBN Co will calculate a discounted wholesale charge for each retailer service provider based on their average customer usage from the previous months. The higher the usage, the better the discount.
Right.
So before they didn't have any incentive to sign up more people because it would just cost more, but now the more people they sign on, the cheaper it becomes per person.
Why?
It's gonna go on.
I was just gonna ask a question here. It's just like, why are they having trouble signing people on? Isn't it going to be the only technology that you can get to
education
get NBN?
It is in my town.
So why?
Promotion is terrible.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If you've got the monopoly, if that's the only way to get it, forget 4G, but if that's the only way to get into your home, why would you sign up for it? Do you just go, no?
Yeah, but it's not that. Yes, it's true. It is a monopoly. You've got no way else to get it. But at the same time, they're not telling anyone about it.
Right.
There'll be a lot of people. Some people are just going to use their phones and stuff for internet.
Exactly. Yeah, this discount's supposed to be. You know what the discount you're going to get on these plans per month? $7.10.
But also with that, going back to that $7.10, I wonder if you have to pay GST on top of that. So is it going to be $8?
Well, if it's a tax, you shouldn't be paying GST on a tax.
Yeah. But it wasn't GST supposed to, eliminate all these other add-on taxes and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
First came in?
Supposed to get rid of stamp duty too.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
On houses. Yeah, right.
That's a rort. Jace would know that. You've just paid some, Jace. You would have.
Yeah, there was something in the news recently about New South Wales is going to scrap stamp duty for first home buyers now.
Oh, dolt.
if you first home buyers on existing homes up to 650,000 from July 1 and increase the threshold for new homes to the same level. So I wasn't a first home buyer. I bought a place on the Gold Coast, so I wouldn't have made this, but hopefully that'll help a lot of people being able to buy homes in New South Wales now.
Oh yeah, because that's stamp duty. Well, I think you got a discount on stamp duty anyway if you was a first home buyer, but to wipe it out altogether,
another $2,900.
But I think I don't want to get into the argument to and fro's of all this, but I think the argument against that is that people just go, oh, that's an extra 10 or 20,000 I've got to spend.
It's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, so
It's not going to make any difference.
you look at it either way. I don't know.
It's going to make it worse, if anything. It's going to make it worse. Just feed the bubble. Keep feeding the bubble.
Yeah, well, I would.
Going to pop one
Yeah,
day.
it's going to stop
Yes.
the house prices going up too much is supply. When there is too much of something, the price always goes down.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right.
And the only time, when they're going to have too much housing, when the bubble bursts, and
It'll-
everyone's selling,
yeah.
broke. That's when you have too much.
Well,
Didn't
look,
they do that in another country?
hmm.
Yeah, hang on, 2008. I think there was a movie about it.
Yeah, you could buy a house for $1,000 or something.
Yeah, you can still
no
buy
money down.
You can
No money
No
down.
money down.
you can still buy really cheap houses, or not cheap, but really, really nice houses in the US for prices you pay out here. You know, like it's like really
I
nice.
don't think-
You go
What's
back.
what would be your opinion on changing negative gearing, Eric? Would that make much difference?
That wouldn't make any difference.
No.
If anything, what'll happen is that there'll be probably a shortage of apartments because people will stop buying them if there's no benefit. So, in other words, the
For
people who
investors.
rent houses are going to suffer.
And
So
I-
their rents are going to go up.
And I guess because you cut negative gearing, say you cut it straight off, it's not going to stop. People are still have the need to invest. They've still got the want, the need, must invest. So they're going to invest somewhere else, and they're not
Yeah,
investing.
they'll invest somewhere else.
If they're not investing and they'll invest somewhere, say into the stock exchange or somewhere where they've still got the negative gearing over there.
Commercial property.
Yeah, and if they're not investing in the properties, well then people aren't buying the
There's
properties.
no houses.
People aren't
there's no- and then
renting. People can't find
People
rentals.
aren't renting.
So
That's right. You can't find rentals because the majority of investors obviously will rent their properties out. And the more investors there are, look, I don't agree with investors always snapping up every single bloody auction that you go to. It's always an investor buying it. I think that's, it does grate on people. And I feel for them. But at the same time, if you cut them out of the loop, then the people who actually don't want to buy at the moment, who just want to rent, their rents are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I feel so, and they're the people who can least afford for their prices to go up.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
know.
feel sorry for them.
I know when we were looking for this house here a couple of years ago, the only people that we seemed to run into that were interested in buying places were Chinese or investors, and
Yeah.
Chinese investors, not to live there,
Yeah.
just to invest and just go.
And,
Wow.
and they lock it up and they don't move into it. But they've stopped that now,
Yeah. Well, I saw
Yeah, they're
one.
gonna
I went.
charge them if they do that.
I went to one.
which I agree with, by the way.
I went to one auction, and it was just about to go to be sold for about $870 or something. And then this Chinese lady, she came running through the front door. Am I too late? Am I too late? And they obviously go, no, you have to sign up. So they signed her all up, and she just went bang, 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 and all of a sudden it was at $1 million. She just wanted it. She just came in and said, I just wanted it. She's not going to stop until the other. Yeah, it was crazy stuff.
That's a good situation. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Unless you're that kind, auctions are not really great for selling or buying for most people.
Well, look, if you're a seller and someone came in with an open checkbook, you're not going to say no, are you?
Oh no, not if you're this. No way, no
But-
way.
At the same time, I think it's the real estate agent's responsibility to get ID checks. Show us your residency papers or your Australian passport.
Oh, won't that all come out in the wash though?
No, not necessarily. A lot slip through the cracks.
So what
A lot.
are you saying? The real estate are the policemen in this instance, or the police?
Yeah, they have to be.
They're policemen rules. Yeah. All right, let's get back
Well,
on.
simple. It's a simple thing, right? You register to bid.
Yeah.
Bring your passport. Bring your passport with you. Not hard.
No, that's right. No. I just thought it all.
Resident, yes.
I thought
Just
it all,
tick.
I thought it all got sorted out in the wash. In the post sales and
No, they don't check it.
yeah.
No one
Okay.
check.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. That's maybe a problem. Apple.
Well,
can-
not just them. It's the lawyers as well. The lawyers that act for them should be telling them, "I can't act for you unless you've got residency papers or an Australian passport."
Well, then there should be some sort of regulation to say, tick this box. Have you looked? Check the passport. Tick Form 3.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Residency check.
There are already attachments to the I want you to do my conveyancing. Okay, fill this out.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
right. Bang, bang. Residency papers? No, can't act for you.
Apple continues smartphone war to Google with a new video advert campaign.
Dun, dun, dun.
You won't see these on the TV, apparently. They're only going to be on the internet. And I'll see if I can find one. I don't know if I can. But there was 2 websites from Apple that had this. Obviously, the .com, and I went searching for the .au. Now, Apple is taking the smartphone war right to Google by launching a major campaign to get users to ditch their Android phones and offering them cash to switch to an iPhone. Now, well and good. I looked at the site. Nice site too. Geez, Apple does do nice sites, don't they? Now, here's the US site. Because on the US site, and even in this article, it mentions that it says, download the Move to iOS app from the Google Play Store, and it securely transfers your content. So that's handy. So I'm guessing it works.
And I'm sure Google's got one as well.
Yeah, that means things like your photos, videos, contacts, calendars, mail, accounts, message history, and free apps, including Google Apps. And you can trade in your old smartphone for $260. But then I thought, okay, how much is that in Australia? What do we get over here? So I went to the Australian site. There's no mention of a trade-in. It's just transfer over, buy your own phone, full outright. Yeah, so you have to go and ask. I don't know. I didn't mention it. The site wasn't as nice as the US one. This is the Australian one here. The site wasn't as nice as the US site. Pretty of a shame.
Oh, that's normal, mate. We get the worst website, but we pay more.
Yeah, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It yeah.
We're subsidizing everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what Apple's over there doing. So that's good. Yeah. So yeah, excellent. Jace, you got another story?
Sure. Billionaire Sean Parker's plans to bring movies to your home as soon as they release in theaters has hit new roadblocks after receiving praises for Screening Room from directors and producers Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard, J.J. Abrams, and Peter Jackson, as well as Hollywood studios. The buzz for the startup has started to wane. From a report, though Parker and co-founder Prem Akajuru have promoted the company in the last 2 years in CinemaCon, it's gotten a little traction due to naivety of the industry, competitors and studios and theatre chains' decade-long discussion about how to move forward on premium VOD. Business Insider has learned everything you heard in the press about studios and theatres wanting to explore a PVOD window. Nothing about that revolves around Screening Room, a source close to the talks told Business Insider. Screening Room's main pitch to studios and exhibitors has been that it can bring added revenue to all sides of the equation. Out of the proposed $50 rental fee, 20% would go to the movie's distributor, and a participating theatre chain would get up to $20 of the fee, plus each customer receive 2 tickets to see that rented title at the local theatre. Screening Room would take 10% of each fee. Sources told them that all of the bells and whistles Screening Room is selling don't matter until the studios and theatres can agree on a premium VOD window. Industry players don't want movies to be available on PVOD simultaneously with theatrical release dates because the first 2 weeks of theatrical run are still when the studios and exhibitors get a majority of a movie's income.
Yeah. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Never going to happen?
I think it's... I don't know, but if you're going to throw $50 at the rental, so I don't know, but if you're into a movie, wouldn't you rather watch on the big screen to start?
Absolutely.
Like to start with,
and you only watch it at home for 2 reasons: you've already seen it on the big screen, or you didn't want to see it on the big screen.
But then maybe
I'd watch it at home. My local cinema's not that great.
Or that.
I went in there and bought some popcorn. It was cold, like it come out of the fridge.
That's
and
like
then I went to the counter and said, "This popcorn's cold." And the owner was standing next to the counter, and he came over and said, "See that sign over there? It says popcorn. Doesn't say hot popcorn, so you got nothing to complain about."
What a turd!
I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I think like with this, okay. So you go to the movie, you spend your money. Look, maybe they could work into something. You know, you pay a premium, pay an extra couple of bucks. Then you could go home to rewatch it.
If the first 2 weeks are the most important, why not make the PVOD 1 or 2 months after? It's still going to be before it was going to come out on any other system. So
make it in week 4.
Yeah,
Even.
week 4, week 5, any of those.
So you can do it like a PVOD pack. Like you get the tickets to the premiere or the first 2 weeks.
Watch it in the cinema and then go
Go to
home.
the cinema and
Yeah.
then get your ticket. So reverse it. Pay your $50.
Mm,
Watch it in the cinema first.
that's right. Yes.
and then stream it in week 4.
Yeah. Well, that's probably not a bad idea because then you can get them. Well, but then you might say, well, what happens if I don't
Stream
like
it
the
anytime
movie?
you want. Stream it anytime you want. Just have it like a 6-month expiry on it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
4-month expiry.
But yeah,
Because you may not want to watch it straight away.
I'm not for. Look, I don't watch a lot of movies, and especially not at the cinema. But I'm not for destroying cinemas. I've got no problems with let it run in the cinema for 4 weeks first.
Me neither.
I've got no
They've,
problem at all.
they've already got huge problems with Netflix and Stan and Hulu and Amazon movies. Why don't they make things more enticing for customers to want to go to the cinema? They say, look,
Hot
come in, you
popcorn.
can watch it here and pay your $50 for a little thing of popcorn and a bit of sugar water.
Yeah.
And then you can go home and anytime over the next 6 months, watch it. You'll be, take my money now. Instead, they're like, no, we don't want any of that stuff. Come in and watch it at the cinema and then go away.
Yeah, and spend $100 on a chocolate and then go away.
Oh, they'll just wait till it comes out at the cinema. Or, why is Australia one of the biggest torrent piracy countries in the world? I don't know.
Like I know,
Do you think that might be a solution to the piracy and the torrenting? Yes.
I think there's
If it's readily available, even if you can pay for it, people will pay for it.
Yeah. Look. I know there's a few of those episodes of Doctor Who that have made their way into the cinemas. I haven't gone to see the last few, only because, well, when I say they're not local, it's at Broadbeach, which is the next suburb, which is not too far away. If they were a Rabina, I might have gone. But
Geez, I gotta get the petrol in the car.
I
and the
know,
kids
I
go
know.
all the way to Broadbeach.
I know. Just,
Broadbeach
It might take me 20 minutes.
yeah, I know.
That's miles from your place, mate, Broadbeach.
Yeah, at least 12 minutes. And, and I don't know. And plus, I think they were about $25 a ticket. So I thought, I'd probably rather go and buy half a box of beer.
Except if you go on Tuesdays.
Yeah, but it wasn't on Tuesday. It was they're only on the Saturdays or something, But anyway,
Lumsky.
That'll fix your little red wagon.
but remember the Disney hacking ransom thing. It was
Oh, yeah, what happened to that?
Bow.
well, yeah, it was all a hoax. That was
Never happened.
Never happened. So just to refresh your memories, there's some hackers made contact with Disney. They said, hey, we've got copies of your movies coming out, and if you don't pay us $1 squillion, we're going to start releasing them to the torrent network. 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, and then so on until the whole thing is released. So Disney chief executive Bob Iger initially held a staff meeting in which he claimed that hackers had been in contact and were threatening to share the film online, blah, blah, blah. Following an FBI investigation, the Disney boss said there was no way that anybody had access to the films before they appeared in the cinema. To our knowledge, we were not hacked. So there you go.
They just wanted to get in the news
They got
like
some money.
Netflix and
Yeah.
Hulu and stuff. Oh, yeah, we were totally hacked and everything. Ha, ha, ha. No, we weren't. But we're in the news headlines and everyone remembers Disney exists.
That's probably what half of this stuff is, eh? You can't. It's all just made up rubbish just to get promotion out of everything.
Yep.
Gmail users or Gmail enterprise users get earlier phishing detection, malicious link, and external reply warnings. So that's all nice. This is only mainly thrown towards the enterprise users, but I'm sure that it's going to filter around into the normal at gmail.com users as well.
It's in the G Suite, is it?
There's the G Suite. The Google announced today, or announced, I don't know when, but they announced an update to the Gmail aimed at businesses. 3 security features are rolling out to the email service: early phishing detection using machine learning, click time warnings for malicious links, and unintended external reply warnings. So the first 2 already exist for Gmail users and are now being made available to enterprise. Mail already uses machine learning to block spam and phishing messages from showing up in your inbox. And apparently it's got 99.9% accuracy. Early phishing detection is a dedicated machine learning model that selectively delays messages to perform rigorous phishing analysis and further protect user data from compromise. And for those worried about Gmail delaying too many emails, Google is promising that less than 0.05% of messages on average will be affected, and the delay will be no more than 4 minutes. I'm sure we can wait 4 minutes. Now, when you send someone an email, you go, is it there yet? Is it there yet? Is it there yet? Well, you got to
Bring 'em
wait.
up. Hello, did you read my email? I sent it like 2 minutes ago. Come on.
Yeah, and if you wait 4
Why don't
minutes.
you just tell me on the phone now? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to talk to you.
Just send me an email. Gmail now also displays unintended external reply warnings to users if you try to respond to someone outside of your company domain. So that's pretty handy. You'll receive a quick warning message to make sure you intended to send the email. Using contextual intelligence, Gmail will not display these warnings to recipients that are existing contacts or someone already in your list. Or that you use regularly. Gmail is also getting new inbuilt defenses against ransomware and polymorphic malware. Get a good dose of that polymorphic malware, you know it. Putting all of the above together, Google estimates that Gmail will now block millions of additional emails that can harm you. So, look, I'd have to say that, I've only got a gmail.com, but I don't get much spam. It's really, really good.
I don't get a lot of spam.
No, but you're Office 365, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's just, you're happy with the way they work?
Yeah.
Roll?
Yeah, I don't get a lot.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot. Occasional one will sneak in.
Oh, yeah.
But if I just delete them or junk them, the algorithm eventually just learns
Trains
it.
the system.
Yeah. Because I get a lot, or a few that'll just come through, pop through, and it'll be like, they look pretty ridgy-dig, and they are probably, just like, they are marketing emails, but they're probably not mass spam marketing emails. And you'd be surprised that you look at the address where they're from, they're just from like a Hotmail or Gmail, and you just go, I don't even care if you're real. If your business can't have a domain email, I'm not even bothered. I'm just not bothered.
I've got a couple of clients that still send me, they're reasonable size clients as well, and they still send me stuff on their Hotmail addresses. Who does that?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But anyway, Jace, I think you got one more?
One more to go. Small Sydney tech company QNect is in damage control after its customer data was reportedly stolen and held for ransom. The hackers, calling themselves Raven Crew, threatened to publish the data, including credit card details and email addresses, online unless Bitcoin were paid by the company. Customers reportedly received SMS messages on Tuesday urging them to contact QNect and encourage them to pay the ransom. Please help us convince them to pay by emailing questions, said the SMS before listing email addresses of 2 senior staff members. QNect offers app-based online ticket selling service used by hundreds of groups around the world, such as university societies, according to its website. Sydney University Law Society, which is believed to be affected by the hack, posted a warning on Tuesday evening to its members about the attack. This is a scam, it said, urging members not to reply.
Did you see that there was some? I just tried to Google it now, but here it is. Here, hacked plastic surgery photos, as well.
So I saw the headline about that. I didn't see the article though.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull it up here, and more than 25,000 photographs have been posted online following a data breach at a plastic surgery clinic in Lithuania. Just who'd go there for it? Passport and credit card details were also stolen, blah, blah, blah. After the release of hundreds of photos from the clinic in March, the rest of the database was published on Tuesday. So apparently the pictures that were published were, maybe, or even from celebrities and so forth, of before and after photos. So it can be probably...
That's what you want everyone to see.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're not going to be at your best just before surgery with all that, drawing all over you, are you?
No.
But yeah, so what happened to this tech company? The hackers call it the Ransom Crew. Yeah, right. So did they get in any trouble? Customers probably received those on Tuesday. No, not really, not yet. This is a scam.
They SMS'd customers with a fake message to tell them to pay the Bitcoin. It says QNext scam alert. If you received a text this evening containing a message to the effect, we strongly advise you to not follow any link or email address given. This is a scam, and we've contacted QNEC about the issue, and they're keeping us updated. So the message, they got mobile numbers and sent out SMS messages to customers of QNEC. Hello there, insert customer name, valued customer of QNEC. We are sorry to tell you that there was a third security incident with the QNEC service, and your data, including social security card info, will be published online unless QNEC pays Bitcoin. Please help us convince them to pay by emailing questions to a couple of people at QNEC from the Raven crew.
Yeah, it's hard to keep your computer secure, isn't it? You got to employ the...
So, yeah, it says, please note the hacker may have access to the user's phone numbers, names, and emails, but they do not, however, have any card information belonging to anyone, as this information is not stored with QNEC. So they don't have the credit card info. They just got your phone number to SMS to or email address to demand ransom.
Yeah, crazy. It's everywhere. They get whatever they can. Even if they don't have it, they're still asking for ransom. Okay, you can hear Aussie Tech Heads and more podcasts on the AussieTechRadio.com. The easiest way is download the TuneIn Radio app and search for Aussie Tech Radio. The podcast is also now on Spotify. So yes, there's another platform you can listen to us. Isn't that exciting? So join the Aussie Tech Heads and the Aussie Mac Zone on Spotify. So we're happy to be there as well. So search up Aussie Tech Radio, blah, blah, blah. You know the drama, I tell you every week. And also don't forget the other shows, which, geez, we've got to do another tech security. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll have to get in touch with Roger to get something going there. Old Fart Geeks, Obsidian Lost, and the Aussie Mac Zone. They're all still hanging around. They haven't faded, although... Yeah, not yet.
Maybe the hosts have.
Yeah, that's right. Fading, not faded. Fading, maybe. All right. That's it. Thanks, Eric, for coming in. Good to see you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No worries. And also, thank you, Jace. Thanks for coming in and giving us your best.
Glad to be here.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks for downloading or watching us on YouTube if that's what you are doing right now. We'll see you next time.
Like. Subscribe and click like.
Yes, wherever that like is, they've changed. Okay. So, cool. Okay, see you next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.